UK hosted a Grand Prix that briefly ran in the 60s and 70s, but the Garden City re-entered the calendar for good in 2008. We missed it for a couple of years, but it was great to come back to the Singapore Grand Prix. Things have changed slightly around the Marina Bay circuit. 4 corners have been taken out, the lap length reduced to just over 3 miles. That might be a welcome relief to the drivers, might be even more of a relief for their brakes. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Ayrton Senna lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Perez, Stroll, Hülkenberg, Russell, Zhou, Ricciardo, Gasly, Tsunoda, Albon, Bottas, Ocon, Sargent, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And joining me in the commentary box this afternoon, the First Lady of World Motorsports, Naomi Schiff. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say, they've got the better of them more often than not.
Yes, for sure. It is never nice to be on the receiving end of that teammate battle, to be the one not winning. But for the driver who is on the upper hand, it's a real confidence boost because, as you know, the first job in Formula One is to beat your teammate. It is a team sport, but at the end of the day, that's the only driver on the grid that's got equal equipment to you. So it's the best indication of how you're doing. So for them, it's going to be a real confidence boost.
Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Okay, Ayrton. Tyre condition still looking good. Right, we've got some clear track in front of us, so let's make best use of it and make the next lap a quick one. You got this. Okay, nice work. Really good job with that target, mate. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. That's your 8th consecutive win in a row. That is just amazing. Congratulations.
they led every single lap of the race. It was a light to flag victory, and that is total dominance.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.